can get.
Good morning and welcome to First Things First. I'm a very hydrated Jenna Wolf. That right there is Cris Carter, the Hall of Famer. This is Nick Wright. We got ourselves some football to talk about today. Finally, football is back. Friday is here. Things are good. Kyler Murray made his debut in the desert. Daniel Jones turned some heads in New York. And Baker picking up exactly where Baker left off last season. Browns hosting Washington last night. 1 of 11 preseason games on the schedule. Lucky for us. Baker Mayfield giving us a glimpse into what an explosive offense this Browns team could be and could look like. Baker 5 of 6, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. That one, a pass to Rashard Higgins. Both Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham sat last night out. Baker was happy with his performance. Here's what he had to say after the game.
We were calling as it goes. You know, kind of had an idea of what we wanted to do. Not really knowing exactly what they were going to come out when we were playing that fast, but just seeing the adjustments and checking the ball down when they're carrying the seams and stuff like that. Get the ball down to your back quickly and let them do some work, and they did a good job. There's situations where, yeah, we can press the tempo a little bit, and I think, you know, once we get comfortable in that, we can be pretty good at playing fast and having success, but we got to be good at it all.
All right, CC, let's start with Baker Mayfield. This season, he starts as the starter from day one. Last year, obviously, it was Tyrod. Do you expect Baker to take a big step this season?
Well, the thing about it, you have to be careful when you've had success in this league and trying to make sure that you try to play each game by itself. Each season is different in itself. And if you try to put too much pressure on yourself to make huge strides, now he's going to make huge strides in the classroom, huge strides on the practice field, because everything won't be new to him. It will be his second time at doing it. Going to training camp this year as the team leader, as the face of the franchise, that's his first time. So now his first full season with preseason games that he's the starter. So I expect his fundamentals improve, his relationship with the coaches will improve as far as what do I want, what do I do well at, what do I need to avoid, how do I avoid the big turnovers, fumbling the football in the pocket. You know, he's got to be a quarterback because of the bad conditions he's going to face in Cleveland. If they get any home playoff games, he's got to make sure that he can control the tempo of games if we're going to slow the game down, because I believe they have a better defense, and they're going to be able to win some games by playing a defensive struggle, but not turn the ball over, not take too many chances. And ultimately, I just want to continue to see his game grow on the field. I believe he's going to be one of the great quarterbacks that we have in the game. The other thing I want to see happen is I want him to adjust off the field. I want him to maybe not try to make it a point to maybe stick it to certain reporters. You're an NFL quarterback. You've established yourself. You're a sensation. People like you. You got an infectious personality. I believe you're a rare leader. But as far as continuing to go after people in the media, like Colin Cowherd, and not because he's on our network, because if you're an NFL player, that person's irrelevant. I'm a quarterback of one of the 32 franchises, and there's no one in the media who wouldn't change positions with me in a minute. So why would I be concerned with some of the things people are saying? Now, I know people will say, well, I want to be, you know, genuine to myself. And you get to some point where you have to leave that stuff behind, because it can be a distraction.
It's noise.
It can be a distraction to the rest of the team. And in the real world, when you're in an NFL locker room, people like myself, you're irrelevant. And athletes have to be careful in trying to continue to engage in people, because most of the time, people like myself, people like Colin, we're on TV, on radio too much. All right, we're going to get the last word. And people like me want to be right, so they're going to try to prove themselves to be right. Just keep playing, understanding the league, try to bring a championship to Cleveland. Those are the things that are really important compared to making someone in the media, oh, they're going to be wrong about what they said. Of course we're wrong. We're talking about sports every day. There's no way we can be right.
Well, and so to answer
all the time, excuse me, but it is important.
Right? No, I mean, you do 15 hours of live commentary a week. There's a lot of things you're going to say, and if people are going to pick at it, they're going to be able to find things to pick at. But from Baker and his progression, I don't think he needs to take some massive leap forward. This isn't Josh Allen. This isn't a quarterback who all throughout last year, to use Josh Allen as an example, struggled. And then we saw final game of the season. Oh, wow, wait, there was something there. Can he turn that final game into a whole year? For Baker, the final 8 games of last year, he was quite good. He had the 2nd best yards per pass in the NFL. He had the 6th best quarterback rating in the NFL. His offensive line started playing a lot better. It probably led to it. He had the lowest sack percentage in the NFL. The Browns had a winning record. That's half a season. So his trajectory was already this. Just continue that. And by the way, it can even level out a bit. He doesn't have to be, over the course of this 16 games, much better than he was over the course of those final 8 games. He just has to keep up this level of production against what will be tougher competition than the Browns happen to face those last 8 games, because the talent around him is better. There's less questions on the coaching staff this year. I know we're going to get into it. The defense should be better. So what I saw yesterday from Baker and from the way that offense was run was encouraging. It was quick. It was crisp. It was easy throws until that touchdown, which was a strike. That was a high-level NFL throw. But everything else you're seeing here, that's a quick slant. That's a throw you know Baker can make. Here he finds the running back. The play I'm thinking about, that's an easy first down. And then on the touchdown, which you're going to see in a moment, I mean, it's a high-level NFL throw. That one he pulls back, finds a guy crosser for 15 yards, and there's a big-time throw coming up here. So, like, you saw Baker take what was given to him, and then when the opportunity presented, right there, through 2 guys, make the big play.
One thing young players, what coaches try to teach them, kind of what you said, but you have to be careful, because even when you've had some success, you don't understand. So they say, be careful what you think you understand about the league. Now, I was saying little steps in the film room, little steps in practice, because in Baker's mind, he doesn't think like what you're saying, Nick.
Okay.
He thinks he needs to improve drastically as far as how he processes information, how he understands the defense and what they're trying to do. Even from offensive concepts, where are we attacking the defense? What's the easiest way for me to be able to get 5, 6, 7 yards? That's what you could see in the film. He was going to the check down. He wasn't forcing the ball down the field until they led it to him. So there's tremendous strides he'll make off the field, things that we won't see, that he'll continue. I guarantee you Baker said, man, I can get a lot better than what I was in my rookie season.
The bottom line is, no one thought that Baker's first season, whatever we saw last year, was just a flash in the pan. I mean, I think we all thought that what he showed us last season was a really good foundation of what's to come. So I think a combination of making small strides and making little changes will really help him and instill a sense of confidence that this is going to be his team for years to come.
No one on this show thought it was a flash in the pan. I do think we should maybe remind the audience the national conversation on Baker coming into the league and even early in the season was he was also trying to do something we hadn't seen a lot of people have success from. Big 12 quarterback, his size.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman Trophy winner. There were a lot of people that thought the Browns reached enormously taking him at #1. When the season ended, he was nowhere close to the projected #1 overall pick. Cris was so taken with his arm talent and with the time he had spent with him. To me, it swayed me. I would have been more on, man, I've seen a lot of guys like Baker Mayfield come to the NFL and fail, and then we saw it proven out in real time. But I do think there's a lot of legitimate questions from a lot of legitimate people across the sports world that are wondering how much of the Browns, a lot of people say the Browns are overhyped. A lot of people think the Browns with Kitchens and Baker are fitting to take a step back. Right. And so I think last night was a really important moment, as important as one drive preseason game can be, because everything went well. Everything was on time. Everything was crisp. And on that touchdown pass, that arm talent that you were talking about back when he was Oklahoma, man, he fit that. He fired that thing into a window with really nice velocity, which is probably the most special ability he has as far as an X's and O's quarterback.
And if they're going to reach their potential as a team, the reason why I don't think they deserve those distractions, because it drags other people. If Baker continues to go after people in the media, you know what? As a reporter, you go start asking his teammates. And then his teammates get drugged into trying to defend who their quarterback is. So as you start to mature, you start to realize people are going to write, people are going to say what they need to say. I need to concentrate on what I'm here for, and that's to play football. The product will speak for itself because he's going to always have the opportunity. As an NFL quarterback playing in Cleveland, man, his focus should be getting this franchise turned around. How can I win the division? How can I get us into the playoffs? Because if you do that, you're going to be right, and the people in the media are going to be wrong. But the whole media is not against you. It's just like any other player. There is no player that all the media likes. I got people saying stuff about Tom Brady. Baker should learn from that. He's the greatest quarterback ever. He still gets criticized day in, day out on this show, not by me, but by other people sometimes. It's part of the gig. But realize, man, you're one of the special people in the world. You are a quarterback of an NFL team. What guy has a microphone can say something to hurt you? And who wouldn't switch places with you and take your talent and take your job as far as leading the Cleveland Browns? So, man, let it go, man. Let it go. That's what I want to see.
Baker Mayfield with a solid preseason debut. Offense looked good. We didn't talk about it, but we will. Their defense looked good as well. Obviously adds to the high expectations for this Browns team.
Underrated
Take a break.
defense.
Coming up, let's move on to another Heisman winner from Oklahoma, Kyler Murray, making his debut. That's next on FS1. You can always check us out on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.
These Lincoln Riley quarterbacks trying to